I was thinking maybe a good idea would be for, at the next Super Bowl, if it was Queens of the Stone Age, maybe you could duet with Beyonce and maybe have Brian Eno produce it. Do you want me to set that up?
Wait, what?
So I looked on Wikipedia.com, and it told me that you're 4 years older than me. And so I was wondering, how were your last 4 years? How do you think I'm going to fare?
I should probably preface this by saying I thought I was 37 for 2 years in a row. Because I said, I'm turning 38, and my wife Brody was like, no, you're not. You're going to be 37. And I was like, fuck, I have to do this again. Let's pretend I know stuff and then I have sage advice.
Great, okay.
I don't feel 44.
Great.
But I don't know how that's supposed to feel. Does that makes sense, right?
Yeah, no.
Like, do you feel 40? What does that mean?
Yeah, I just turned 40, and to me now 40 feels like a child because I always feel like a stupid child. I don't know, like my dad turned 69, the other day, and that doesn't sound old to me anymore. You know, I'm like, I hope to turn 69.
It's all about arm's length because that's fairly close now.
Not too far away.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back though. Would you go back?
No, I like now better than then.
Why? Because you know stuff?
Yeah. Oh, and in the last few years, my wife and I have had 3 children. And I like
how many years though? You made that sound like that was 3 years in a row. Like
it almost
Irish
was.
Triplets.
Every other year she had a child. Yeah, so we have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old.
Wow.
You guys recently had a 3rd child, not too terribly long ago. What do you think about the difference between having 3 kids and having 2 kids?
Well, see, mine are 5 years apart.
Okay.
So they're like 3 only children. But it doesn't change the fact that there's 3 short people that want stuff.
Correct.
You know, and it's nuts and tiring.
When I had 2 kids, I had maybe 20 free minutes a day. Not in a row. But yeah. But then when you have 3 kids, they're fucking gone.
Negative 58
no
minutes.
free time. But then it makes me work harder because if I have a free second, I'll write like a novel and a half and build a small cathedral because I better.
Yeah. Neither are great, but they're done.
Yeah, they're done. I made them.
Well, I also think too, like, if someone has 1 kid and they say anything, I'm like, hey, shut the fuck up.
Big time. 1 kid is a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have to be like, wait, no, I thought it was hard when I had 1 kid. Be nice. You know what I was thinking the other day is that it seems that you and I work in fields that it's hard to break into. And I was thinking, it seems to me, when I was analyzing myself, and I realized it takes some positive character attributes to have success in the world of entertainment or anything difficult, but it also takes some negative ones. And I was like thinking about all the shitty things about myself that got me to here, and they are legion. And I was just wondering, what do you agree with that? Do you think like it takes totally a work ethic, but also like a single-mindedness to the point of where people have to be like, Christ, man, maybe take a look at your health or something for a second.
Well, I mean, I've definitely, in terms of my own health, I've always been like, we'll get that in a minute. Let's just do this. Because of that, there's a certain amount of obsession.
Yeah.
When I compare it to things like when you really fall in love, that's almost a mental problem too, isn't it, really? I mean,
yeah.
I can't eat, I can't sleep, and I think about this all the time. When I was 9, my parents accidentally took me to see George Carlin.
Oh, wow.
And it changed my life. I think that was the first time I ever thought, oh, that was philosophy, but it's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all philosophy, what you do.
I mean, I don't think of as myself as a philosopher.
Well, because that would be too elevated, right? It's got to be pounded out. But it's thinking about life and saying,
yeah, I want to do the work. If it becomes philosophical or works in a philosophical realm, then great, you know. But yeah, but certainly Carlin is, my God, you know, and ones that I admire when I'm observing and absorbing comedy that I love. There's absolutely elements of philosophy.
Because life is funny when it's good, but when it's awful, it's really funny.
Yeah, it is. I guess I don't understand the world, and I need to work to figure it out. And stories, you know, through music or through comedy, would help me understand it all, you know, and that's
I feel the exact same way. I don't understand the world.
That just reminded me, I was talking to my dad the other day, and, crazy world we live in. Things, there's an argument to be made. That
Tell him I said hi, will you please?
I will. There's an argument to be made that things are a little crazier now than they were, say, 3 or 4 years ago, or at least we're noticing it more
Tell that to
collectively.
the slaves that built the pyramids.
I know, right? But so it's all cyclical. But anyway, I was saying to my dad, I was like, man, the world's a fucking mess, When I was a kid, I thought like, yeah, you just did this and then you got that and everything was fine, And I was like, didn't that what you thought? And he's like, no, I grew up in an orphanage. Why would I have thought that?
Wow.
And I was like, ooh,
And you were like, let's just have dinner.
Yeah, no. But I was like, thank you. Yeah, I was so happy that my bubble was pierced,
Right,
'cause
perspective.
it was just so great to hear somebody else with a wildly different perspective whose DNA is half
That
of
was
me.
much worse than yours.
Yeah. I am rereading The Handmaid's Tale because I just
Because
started
of the
watching
thing,
the
yeah.
show, and I wanted to go
God,
back
if life
and see
could
what
just
it's
be like that.
Yeah. The weird part is in that some ways it doesn't seem that weird now. When it was written, the first time I read it, I was like, that'll never happen. And now I'm like,
That'll never happen tomorrow at noon.
Yeah. And so now it's wonderfully terrifying.
One of the interesting things about how fucked up today is that you can get caught up in these like toilet bowls of swirl so quickly.
Yeah.
It's like being followed by someone going,
Yeah,
guess
yeah, yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Would you believe this?
Yeah.
It's like being followed by a team of assholes that are
Exactly.
like, did you see this?
Yes.
And you're like, no, asshole.
Yeah. People will say to me like, oh, with the crazy political climate now, shouldn't you make some political comedy? I'm like, no, I want to make a tiny little story as honestly as I can and tell that and show it to you. And then you do with it whatever you want.
Right, I know. I believe in that too because I think escapism is a really devalued commodity. That's why we have ice cream parlors and arcades.
We need
so
them.
that you can go there and if someone talks politics or religion or this or that, you can go, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
second,
I'm gonna have
it's
some
an ice
Rocky
cream
Road.
parlor, you asshole.
Yeah, coffee, Heath Bar Crunch.
Yeah, and I don't expect what I do to resonate with everyone. But it's there if you need a set to turn a Monday into a Saturday. If you need to turn a noon into a midnight, I'm like,
Yeah.
and if your teenagers want to revolt, you know what I mean?
I didn't know that I remembered this because I have
didn't know
children.
what I remembered.
But I saw ZZ Top at the House of Blues in L.A. I saw you in the audience there.
Yeah, I was definitely there.
And
yeah.
that was the first and only time I've seen ZZ Top. And watching them play, I was like, yeah, they have been playing for 35 years together, those
so
three men.
they're so
I mean,
good.
it's not a secret that Billy Gibbons is fucking will ascend to
He's
heaven.
a white bluesman.
Yeah, I mean, he's insane.
Try
but
that.
then Dusty Hill and Frank Beard,
yeah.
that's the best rhythm section I've ever seen.
Yeah, so good.
And my wife had the gall to get sick and throw up at that show, and we had to leave.
That's big goals.
And so,
Really, during the thing?
yeah, that was such an amazing show.
How
but
dare you
Billy-
barf? Is it like, who do you think I are for you? to
Yeah,
have?
but you know where she barfed? Into a news, the little plastic
Into
bags
anything.
that paper boys deliver the paper.
I
in.
already know a lot about your wife because that's a courtesy barf where you make it to
Just
the
a little-
receptacle.
Yeah, she's
A lot of people
she's
just
a
go
good
like,
person.
"Bah!" and just, they
She's
just
a good
paint.
person.
Yeah.
But
Why can't you be a good person?
there are a lot of reasons, 7 or 8 reasons, which I'll detail now. Your singing voice is very beautiful, and you sing in a more instrumentalish manner now than you used to. And in Caius, you didn't sing, and then you started to sing, and now your
I tried to
voice-
find a singer. I tried to. 'cause
I've
I
heard that.
I didn't. It's hard to find someone.
Yeah.
It's like, will you make sounds with your face and do it here with us? And it's
Yeah.
just hard to find somebody.
But then you made that decision, and I can tell is a long
But
time.
I had to learn in front of everybody because there was
Yeah.
no time to, and which is really that trial by fire is really. I would liken it to doing stand up the first time because you think you know what's going
Right.
on, but then you go up there and have to actually do it. That's not easy.
As good as your voice is, though, you have the humility or whatever to have Mark Lanigan come and sing a lot.
It never mattered to me the size of the role that I have. If if the thing is good, you know, who cares? I would say that it's kind of like maybe being on a ship in the ocean, you know? Like, if the cook fails, you die. If the rigger fails, you die. If the captain fails, you die. They're all equally important. The only problem is if the cook wants to be the captain or the captain wants to be that role envy is a problem.
Yeah.
And why live
mutiny.
Yeah, that's where mutiny comes from. Why live in a world where I wish I could do that, but I'm not. That's just your own fucking excuse. So just go and do it. If you want to do that, do that. I wasn't in love with singing, and I thought, well, what if there was just a band that was just rotating all the time and had these flavors all in one. It'd be like going to a festival, but it's in one band.
Yeah.
And Lanigan is like, if he was the voice on your phone, like, fuck Siri, that shit. If it was Lanigan, it's like,
Yeah. You'd be
go
like,
left.
Yeah. How do I get to my own bathroom?
Yeah.
Like, you fucking know, but I'll tell you because I know you want to hear.
I know, because he's so willing to say something really rough, you know. I love that because he's poetic about it. How you doing? Who asked you? You know, it's not the answer I was looking for, but it's Lanigan, and then Nick has his own reality that's totally alien and wonderful too. I would love to be in that environment where there's multiple people that have that skill, and it's great to just watch them too. Like on the Iggy tour, I got to just dance and play guitar, and that was the first time since Lanigan and Nick were there. Like, that was so freeing. That's why I love being in the Eagles of Death Metal.
Yeah.
One of the best frontmen ever is Jesse, and I just watch his butt.
Yeah.
You know, bouncing around by sitting at the drums is fucking wonderful. You know?
Working with Mark Ronson on the new album.
A number of people said, "Why work with Mark Ronson?" And I always feel like just saying, "Yeah, yeah." I mean, don't you want to be the mole that pops up that doesn't get hit in whack-a-mole? You know, to like appear where no one expects.
Yeah.
That shit's just funny and cool, and it's interesting to try to take weird chemistry or something that looks like odd chemistry, but find the common thread in all that stuff. You know, because the other option is to just play it safe, and that's just boring.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.